What did your life look like a year ago?
Heading to work to like clean aisle 5.
So how much money did you make in August?
In my first month, I made just under 2.
So if someone were in your position, you have 20 seconds, what would you tell them to do? Boys, welcome to a new YouTube video, and this one is a very, very special one because for the first time after over a year creating content, after 3 years of being in this space, in the online making money space, whatever you want to call it, I am going to be interviewing one of my first ever students, Joe Townley, who's an absolute beast. I think a lot of people who watch my content might be a little bit skeptical or scared of coming into the space because they don't know what awaits them, you know, and a lot of you guys are probably 18, 19 in college, exactly in a very similar situation to me and Joe, and you're not sure where to go from here. So I thought it would be a great idea to sit down with Joe for 15, 20 minutes, ask him a few questions, and understand exactly what his path was from point A to point B where he is now, and which is, by the way, a point where I think a lot of you guys want to be as well. You just might be lacking the guidance or the structure to actually get there. So I think it would be very good for the viewers and for me as well to get a bit more context on what did your life look like a year ago? What were you doing? Who were you hanging out with? What did that really look like at that time?
Yeah, no, 100%. Definitely looks different to how it is now. I wasn't in Thailand. So I was at university. I was working at Sainsbury's, waking up 5 a.m, seeing my boys coming in from a night out at the club as I was heading to work to like clean aisle 5 and stack all the yogurts on. I wasn't fulfilled at all in life. I knew I had high ambitions. I always knew I wanted to work online or kind of be entrepreneurial, but I didn't know how to get into that. I was kind of stuck in a loop of not enjoying life at uni.
Yeah.
But I didn't know a way out of that.
Yeah.
Until we kind of connected and you showed me that there was a path out of that, and the rest is kind of history.
How important do you think that is compared to just straight up taking action? Because the truth is, I'd say everyone watching us who's 18, 19, 20, everyone is ambitious. Or everyone would like to say they're ambitious. Everyone wants to be entrepreneurial. Everyone wants to make good money. But 99% of the people never even take the first step in that direction.
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
So do you think that being ambitious and having goals made a big difference, or the thing that made the biggest difference was just straight up doing it?
Yeah, for sure. There's like two different types of people. There's the people who want and desire the situation, their kind of dream life.
Yeah.
Blame everything externally to why they can't get there. They blame that they don't have enough time, they don't have the resources, they don't know how to do it. And then there's the type of people who want and desire it and then make the time. They find the resources and they take action and they make it work. So it's not, you know, anyone can be ambitious, but not anybody can actually drive towards where they want to be.
So after that, you were at uni, you hated it, stacking shelves, fucking terrible life, and then, no offense.
I wouldn't say terrible. I didn't enjoy it, but I still had a loving family and everything.
Yeah, fair enough. And then you took half your savings and you started traveling. How was that?
Yeah, traveling was sick, proper enjoyed it. I was messaging you before I went traveling. I was going to kind of take action, bite the bullet and go all in, but I realised I want to do this, I want to work remotely, I want to work online so I can travel, but I'd never even travelled before.
Right.
So I went travelling for 2 months by myself, kind of discovered what I wanted to do, which was travel. I wanted to go and see the world, live in Thailand, live in Bali, and the only way to do that was to make money online. So as soon as I got back, I obviously hit you back up and said, look, I'm ready to go, bro, let's get to work. Invested, took action, and within, I think, maybe 3 weeks of doing that, I was in Bali.
Yeah.
So paid off pretty nicely.
100%. Fucking love that. So first step was uni, stacking shelves, then traveling with your savings. And then what was the main thing? Because obviously you reached out to me before you started traveling, but you didn't feel like it was the right time. So you just said, I'm going to hold off. What made you, when you came back from traveling, feel like, okay, I'm going to invest basically all of your savings, all the money you had in the bank, into learning from this guy and just betting on myself? What made you take that decision? Was there something that completely changed your mind, you know, like a specific moment, or was it just the overall idea of traveling after you had done it?
Yeah, I mean, with your kind of whole program, with the guaranteed placement, with the coaching that you offer, it was only on me. Like, you had your end covered. The only deciding factor was how hard I'd work.
Yeah.
And I knew I'd put in the work, so it was kind of a no-brainer. And the deciding factor for me was I dropped out of university. I didn't want to get a 9 to 5, and I wanted to travel. So making money online was my only option. There was no other option to do what I wanted to do. And appointment setting was perfect to get my foot in the door and start earning money online.
Exactly.
And then tons of opportunities can come from that.
100%. What do you say to people who are looking into the online space and think that they're going to start a business doing 50, 100K a month with no skill set, no capital, knowing no one? What would you tell those people?
I tell them I love the ambition, but you need to have kind of calculated. I don't like the word realistic because it kind of limits you.
Yeah.
It's like a limiting belief. But no one wakes up as a CEO. You know, all the kind of businessmen you see online, like I don't even know who's a good example, like Mark Cuban and.
Well, all the gurus, everyone's making good money online.
Even if they're not in sales now, they started in sales.
Yeah.
That's where they started. They started in sales, learned that, and then they spied on the businesses that are doing 2, 3, 4, 500K revenue a month.
Yeah.
They understood how it worked, and then they can implement that into their own businesses, which is ambitions of mine as well. But you've got to start somewhere. You don't wake up and you can't wake up and become a CEO overnight. You need to learn the skills, learn the fundamentals, and then build on it.
Yeah. 100%. What was for you the main thing that you wanted to achieve through this? Like, you came into appointment setting, you obviously wanted to make a lot of money, but would you say it's worth coming into this with expectations of making like 10K a month, like right off the bat? Or is this something more for people? Because in my opinion, I'd say this is more for people who are willing to do things with time and realizing that you're going to have to learn the skills, and for months you're going to have to build and work your ass off and just show up every day until that big opportunity and that big breakthrough comes to you, and then you're going to be making 10, 15, 20K a month.
Yeah. So like I say, it's about getting your foot in the door, learning a skill whilst earning money remotely.
100%.
So, you know, you can't come in and expect to be earning 10, 15, 20K a month off the bat, because if you knew how to do that, you'd be doing it already.
Yeah.
So it's about getting your foot in the door, understanding how it all works, learning the skill, and just progressing each month to then, like where you're at, where you can earn 10, 15, 20K a month.
Yeah.
Because you've built the skill set and you've learned how to leverage that.
100%. Would you say though, because obviously if people come into this, and that was for me like one of the main things when I came into this space is, I might not make a lot of money right away, but what I will have, especially in your position when, you started making like 3K a month very quickly, you have freedom, right? Like, you're not a millionaire, but look at us now. Like we're going out to dinner every single day. You're, going to the best gyms in the world. You have amazing weather. You're free to do basically whatever you want. Obviously, you still need to work your ass off, and you're ambitious, so you're going to want to do more than that. But you already have that first little taste of freedom that now just gives you even more motivation to just go way further with your life and your career and your expectations, right?
100%. It's about starting something and then working your way up.
Yeah.
And with the freedom to travel to Thailand, travel to Bali, live the life, it makes it way easier.
100%. So one thing I'm curious about is, I know a lot of people, they come into the online space and they watch all these gurus and they try a million things. Me the first. I tried trading, I tried drop shipping. I spent over like $1,000 on courses in my first 3 months.
Really?
Yeah. I paid 300 euros for a course about drop shipping. I tried building 3 stores, it never worked. I bought one course about trading, which was like 500 euros. I learned nothing basically from it. And one thing I was curious to understand is, did you try anything before coming into this, or was this just your first venture and it was just your fucking home run, went well, and now you're doing good?
Yeah, no, I was like you, bro. I tried almost everything. I tried trading for 6, 7 months.
You did?
Yeah.
Damn.
I tried trading for 6 months, 7 months. I tried drop shipping, didn't work. I tried faceless TikTok. I grew a TikTok page like 12,000 followers.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm impressed. 12,000 followers.
Yeah. And I tried everything under the sun. I put all my time and effort into something for 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
And then when I didn't see the results, I'd move on to the next.
Yeah.
And the way I'd do it is I didn't want to invest any money because in my mind I didn't want to lose the money. When you think of it like that, you're too focused on the price rather than the outcome. Right. If I were to have picked one of those and gone all in, invested thousands of pounds on courses on how to actually do it, maybe it would have been more successful. But it's about committing to something rather than just dipping your toe in the water. If you seriously want to change your life, you need to give everything to it. You can't half-ass it. And that's what I did here with you.
Yeah. Do you feel like someone watching this, if they're hesitant, like they might be wanting to, they have, 4 or 5K to invest into a mentorship program, and they might be thinking, should I go into setting? Should I go into drop shipping? Should I go into, SMMA, whatever? What would you tell them? Because from my perspective, and I'm biased, that's why I want to hear your perspective, is if you're trying to start a business, but you have nothing to show for it, you don't have skills, you just don't know anything about, you don't know the first thing about building a business, how more profitable is it going to be long term to just learn a skill? Because the truth is, with setting, or if you're just learning any high ticket skill, marketing, video editing, which I know you learned as well from your brother, with those, you can remake your money fairly quickly. Yeah, you're not going to make 25K your first month, but you can make 3, 4, 5K a month very quickly and then build up from there, right? And use that money to actually reinvest and learn other things, like you now who want to learn closing and then probably going to learn management, manage sales teams. So what do you think about that?
Because obviously I tried all of those as well, dropshipping, all of those, and it didn't work for me. So I'd probably be leaning towards setting as well. You know, with setting, it's a skill that makes sense. You can't take that away. Businesses need appointment setters in the sales funnel. Otherwise they'll fall to the ground. They won't get the sales, the closes they need. Whereas with dropshipping, with trading, I don't get it. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. I
Where
feel
the
like
value is.
Yeah, it takes years to learn, and it's less kind of realistic, like Forex trading. Who are you to think that you can, you know...
Yeah, beat these guys in fucking Wall Street that have studied for 20 years. Yeah,
that's it, bro. How can you think you're going to manipulate the market ahead of these guys who are on the charts 12 hours a day?
Yeah.
So with appointment setting, it's a skill that's entry level. You know, you can learn it from somebody like you who knows it inside and out. You can learn it pretty easily, pretty quickly. Get yourself on a roll as soon as you're ready to go. Yeah. And start earning money super quick. Yeah. And it's a skill that makes sense. So why not do something that makes sense?
Yeah, I think the interesting thing as well that I want to make super clear for everyone watching this is that your specific case is a bit different because you're a natural and people will see this on camera. You're confident, you're good at speaking to people. So phone setting, what you're doing right now, make complete sense. Now, obviously, you're going to move to closing. What would you say to someone watching this who's very introverted? Do you think this is still doable for them? Is this still something they might be able to do with other avenues within setting? Or
yeah, 100%. If you're super introverted, you can still learn the skill. It's only over the phone, for one, and for two, you can go into DM setting. Right, you can log into an Instagram page from a business owner and you can send messages. That's how I started out. I've worked my way up the ladder. I started as a DM setter and then I became phone setter, and now I'm looking to branch into closing. And with DM setting, anybody can do it. You're just sending messages all day. You know, you don't need to think too hard, because if you type out the wrong message, you can just delete it and then start again. And you can't even make a mistake. With the right guidance, you can't make mistakes, and it's just free money from sending messages.
And people might think that because it's a lower level skill, they might not be able to make big money, but the DM setter on the offer that you're in right now is making huge money. You might be watching this. He's making really good money just sending texts and typing on the phone, literally.
Yeah. I mean, he's putting in the work, but he's just sending the same messages to different people for a business owner. Yeah. He's making 5% of cash collected on the offer, which is over $10,000. So you do the math, he's making like around $500 per close. Yeah. Just from sending copy and paste messages.
That's insane when you think about it, that nowadays people can literally just take a copy paste script, send it to whoever, how many people they can from an Instagram account, and just make money from it. That's pretty crazy. So I'm also curious, because this was a big thing for me when I started, is I was seeing so many other people my age live the exact life that I always dreamed of. Did that hit you? Were you big on like social media and just seeing other people do the exact same thing? What was the most frustrating thing you were seeing?
Yeah, I mean, seeing these guys online making 10, 20K a month who are my age, they're only human as well. Like, what do they know that I don't, that's allowing them to get these penthouses, you know, stay in areas like this? What do they know? And it's just, as we've spoken about, a high income skill. Yeah. They learned it, they took action, and that's why they're at where they are, living their dream life. Yeah. And the thing that separates you from them, or me from me now, is learning the skill and taking action. That's the only thing that it needs.
What you said there is so powerful. The only difference between the old Joe and the new version of Joe is taking action and being willing to learn skill. Yeah, right? Because now, again, for people who don't know this, but obviously you invested into my mentorship. You became a 6-setter, you're making good money. And now you've already invested money again into a new mentorship to become a high-ticket closer, correct?
Yeah.
So most people would never do that. And that's why they stay stuck exactly where they started, because they never take the action to learn the skills. And that's why they never actually make the money. Because the truth is, even a guy who just invests into my mentorship becomes a really good setter, but then never takes that next step again, they're probably also going to stay stuck somewhere, right? Somewhere along the way. Whereas you're willing to constantly take the actions to become better and better. Now you're going to become a closer. Maybe you do that for a year, you become great, and then you start your own business, and then you invest into a business mentor because you've already realized, I think, that investing money doesn't mean losing money. It's all about what you do with the information that people give you. Because the truth is, like you said, I can't do magic. If someone invests into me, I can give them all the information, all the tools, all the systems to make the money, but I can't make the money for them, you know? So it's so much more about just putting in the work than just having the information. A lot of people, even if they're willing to invest, they take that info and they do nothing with it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, I agree with that for sure. I think that the reason I'm kind of investing in you, making money, investing in another guy, then I'll go into closing and then keeping on the thing is because I'm super ambitious. So I enjoy my progression, I enjoy self-improvement. But somebody could invest with you and then just stick with that for the next 10 years and they'd still be comfortable.
So what do you say about speed? Because, and you've heard this from me a million times, speed is so important. How important do you think it is within setting space? Because again, a lot of people, they might invest into a course or a mentorship and they get the information, they do nothing with it. And then when an opportunity comes along, they're just not ready to take it. How much of a difference did that make for you in your journey?
Yeah, a massive difference. In certain aspects, it's about moving with speed. And then in other aspects, it's about taking the information in, learning it, putting the reps in, and then progressing. But to start with, there's always two different types of people. There's somebody who will see the opportunity and grab it, get started, move with speed. And then there's the type of person that will start on Monday, or the type of person that will start in the next year or in the new year.
Yeah.
And it's about, the person who starts as soon as they want to get involved, as soon as they want to. That's the person that will bomb on and progress, rather than the person who always waits for Monday or, I'm a bit busy this week.
Yeah.
It's about taking action and moving with speed.
Yeah. Because the impressive thing with you, and you're not the only one, but most people will never do this, but my other students, Jack, who you met, both you guys, what you did is you hopped on the onboarding call. I taught you the main things that you needed to learn. Then you went and did your thing for like 3-4 days, got all the information you needed. And then an opportunity came along, a role, and you just said, I'll take it. Even if I might not be 100% ready, I'll just do it and I'll learn on the spot, And then you got a sick opportunity, you became a DM setter, and after a month you were being promoted to phone setting. So the importance of speed and just being ready is crazy because, you could come in and I could tell you, I'm going to take a month to teach you the skills. But the truth is, the people like you and Jack who are just proactive and ready to get things moving quickly, they always get the best opportunities because the best opportunities move with speed. And even talking about now, I got a message from a business owner just now who said someone else got him a setter, but it's been 2 days and he hasn't interviewed them, And every time I put a setter in an offer, I literally introduce them in 2 seconds, and all my setters, all my students, they know that they just have to text them back quickly, tell them to hop on the call, and on the same day they're getting interviewed and most likely getting hired because they're moving with speed and because money just loves speed. That's how business works. A business owner needs a setter. He's not going to wait 3 days. He needs someone on the phone or in the DMs to qualify people quickly. So he's not going to wait for someone for 3 days to get ready for the interview.
Yeah.
They just want people who are ready right off the bat. And the truth is, with you, and I think that's what you're doing right now as well, is you've gotten into this really good routine where you're not missing a day of anything, and you're just committed, and you're keeping the promises that you made to yourself every single day. And the good thing with that is that because of it, if an opportunity comes along, you'll always be ready for it because you're not missing a single day. So if tomorrow the opportunity comes, you'll be good because you're not missing that day. And same for every fucking day of the year because you're never going to stop, And a lot of people, they can just quickly get comfortable and they're like, I'm making 3K, why would I worry, But if you keep moving ahead and stepping forward every single day, even when you think you're good, you're going to keep flying through the air.
100%. As soon as you get comfortable, you stop progressing, and it's about leveling up the skill set. There's always something new to learn in the high ticket space.
Yeah.
In any kind of endeavor of life, there's always something new to learn.
Yeah.
And it's about progressing every single day. You're getting 1% better every single day.
Yeah.
And it's so valuable having somebody who is where you want to be.
Yeah.
To help you improve your own skill set, your own lifestyle, your own even fitness. Anything, it all comes down to you as a person as well and your own mindset.
Yeah. I think you also impressed me a lot when you started setting because even though you're already on the offer, you knew you were making money, you knew you were doing good because it comes naturally to you. You were still every single day trying to improve. And I see you now. You go 2 hours every single morning to the cafe, you sit down and you do some training on closing, setting, everything you can, and you're just constantly improving. How important do do you think that's going to be for you in the future and the future of your career?
So important. When you're getting into these roles, when you're setting for business owners, when you're closing for business owners, there are a few people, there's quite a lot of people who would snatch the business owner's hand off to get that position.
Yeah.
And those types of people are like me, who are doing the work in their free time, who are upskilling, training. And if you're not doing that, you're going to be left behind and you're not going to land the roles. So you need to be doing the work, you need to be improving to land the roles and start earning the money you want to earn.
100%. Do you mind if we quickly, before we wrap this up, talk about numbers? Because I know it's a bit taboo for some people, but the truth is I want to give people a realistic expectation of what's possible. You know, so we started together in July and you landed your first role in August, correct?
Yeah.
So how much money did you make in August, in that first month?
In my first month, I made just under 2.5K.
2.5K. And then in your second month, September?
3K.
3K. Yeah. And then last month, you made like 3.3, right?
Yeah, just over 3K.
Just over 3K. And this month, you're on pace to make maybe 4. Is that right?
4, yeah.
Yes, guys, what happened is we still had a week left of November when we filmed this video, and Joe ended up actually making over $6,000. So we weren't able to film after that, but it was confirmed today. He did make 4K. He made over $6,000 in his 4th month as a setter. Absolutely insane.
And so in 4 months, he literally went from 0 to close to making 4K online while traveling, by the way. You're not like stuck at home just working 10-hour days, right?
Yeah.
That's just insane. And it shows how quickly your life can shift, you know?
100%.
And I have no doubt that, and I say this truly from the heart, I think in the next 6 months, you're going to be making 20K a month easily as a salesperson. I don't have a single doubt.
Neither do I.
This is the confidence you guys need if you're coming into setting, is just truly believing in yourself, because, and this is one of the most powerful things that you have, and I think I've always had that too, is if you don't believe in yourself, no one will. You have to be the first one to believe. And the thing is, because you have that belief, then that makes people want to follow you as well. You know, I see it now. Joe's starting posting videos about his journey as well. The confidence you have when you speak makes people want to follow you as well, because wow, if this guy has all this confidence and believes deeply in his own journey, why would I not go behind him? You know?
Yeah.
So I think that's really powerful.
Why wouldn't I have confidence in myself when I'm putting in the reps, when I'm putting in the work? There's no reason to not be confident in what I can do and what I can achieve.
100%. I love that. So if someone were in your position, you have 20 seconds, what would you tell them to do?
Just start, change your life, bite the bullet and just take action. Just do it. That's all I've got to say.
What else is there to say? Fuck yeah, bro. I love it. Thanks for that.